understand the minces going to talk in the next couple of minutes. What do you think of the game so far?
It's nothing in it. Nothing in it, but I don't see Connor now playing as competitive as they have been. Not any big hits, not any...
Saving themselves?
Aye, definitely. I like how Rosehill's on the Pitt and Becca line. Maybe try to keep them safe for next week.
Yeah,
a bit of protection.
Yeah. And how do you happy with Dundee in the quarter-finals?
Just happy to be in the quarter-finals. But you just don't know who's going to turn up.
Plan-wise, you mean? What team's going to turn up?
Aye, exactly. And it's a lottery for who's actually going to get through. But
you think it's that close to Dundee?
Aye and no. If Clan turn up and play the best they can, they should win it. But nothing's guaranteed.
Nothing's guaranteed, right? Hammond's a big loss.
Massive loss. It breaks up the whole lines. Everybody needs to shift them out, and when you get into such a vital game, you just can't take chances like that.
No, it's going to be difficult to replace him, and it means everybody else has got to mix and match the lines as well. Sad one to see him out for the season. Don't know, I'm not saying he's not going to come back, but difficult one, isn't it? Especially for a Clan. I think they're taking a chance at signing him next year.
I don't think so. Not really. They took a chance on him this season, but he proved his worth. But whether somebody's noticed how worthy he's been for us, that's another thing.
Different when it's coming back from injury, yeah?
Yeah, aye, well that's it. Brooks not as bad an injury, broke his arm, but we obviously didn't get him back. But Fife took a chance, he's done well with him. But I would take a chance on him. If we can prove his fitness, why not?
And if we win tonight and Nottingham lose, we get up to 4th. I think that's a reasonable position for us to be in.
Considering the start to the season, I would take it.
And do you think sometimes maybe when we've been finishing second, challenging for the league, we've maybe been punching above our weight a wee bit?
No, I don't think so. I think that's where we should always aim to be, as high up the table as possible. But it's just the way the leagues went. We didn't go off to a good start this season, so we've just not been where we should be. In my eyes, like you never aim for 4th or 5th, always aim for the top spot. But where we've ended up, that's it.
And we're doing a quick spot prize for a Purple Army podcast month. How many points has Alec Levitt got since he joined the Clan last year? That's 2 seasons worth.
Jeez. About 110?
Close, but no, they're not right. I can't tell you. Because you might tell somebody else that last. Thanks, Stephen.
No worries.
Now we're getting to the business end of the season, playoff quarter-finals, and it's still, I think it's still sad that we're doing it over 2 legs, but that's what we've got. Hopefully, maybe next season, the season after, they can look to making it 3, which I think would vastly improve the excitement. I'm excited. I mean, we've got tickets. Most of us, I think, are going to Dundee on Saturday night. We're going to the games on Sunday. It's a hockey weekend. It's games that really mean something. But first off, before we talk about that, Cardiff and Manchester. Cardiff obviously being the 1st seed, Manchester being the 8th. Jennifer, can you see Manchester managing to do anything there?
Well, statistically, you would think no, but Manchester actually have a pretty decent record against Cardiff, and I think kind of everybody expects Cardiff, but I don't think we could put anything past Storm, because I think, first of all, it's brilliant that they've managed to get to the playoffs, and I think all of us were super chuffed that they had that win against the Panthers on Wednesday last week. So I don't think you can put anything past them, but I do think that Cardiff might sneak it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got I'd love to see Cardiff taking their eyes off the ball and Manchester getting one over on them, and that's what I'll be rooting for. But in my head, I can't see past Cardiff. Raymond?
Well, Manchester, they got in at the very last minute. They've nothing to lose, and interestingly as well, they've got home ice advantage for the second leg. So I think if they keep that first leg a goal or two less, I think they've got a chance, especially with that home advantage. So I'm going to tip Storm for this. There's always an upset of some kind, and as we've seen in the past couple of years, it's happened before.
You're a brave man to bet against Cardiff this year, but if that's your gut feeling, go for it, because it could very well happen. Graham, what about yourself?
Personally, I think Cardiff's got Grand Slam written all over them.
Yeah,
I can't see it. I would love Storm to spring a surprise, but I'm sorry, I just can't see it. And I'll be honest with you, I can't even see it being that close. I think Cardiff, gave up the home advantage for the first leg, didn't they? I think so. I think that seems to be a decision that they've made. I don't know if that was driven by other factors, I'm not sure, but certainly the way it was coming across, that was a decision that they said they seemed to be quite happy with, so fair enough. We're back to that old debate about how much of an advantage is it. But, I can't. I think Cardiff are just too strong. I think they're too strong for the playoffs overall, is my opinion, but time will tell. And listen, if Storm managed to at least give them a great fright, then I will be absolutely delighted. I certainly wish them all the best. They did a good job getting through when it looked like it wasn't going to happen for them. So they've certainly shown tenacity, they've shown character to get through. I just can't see it. I can just see, as I say, I just think they're on for the Grand Slam now, definitely.
Moving on. Was that us, or was it 3 Cardiff, 1 Storm, was it? Jennifer, you were Cardiff at the end up, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yes. 3 Cardiff and 1 for the Storm. 5 Flyers and the Belfast Giants. It's a tricky one for the Giants, I think. Graham, what's your thoughts on that one?
I think that's a really tricky one. I think also, and I'm not going to claim I've done any homework on this. I was listening to a View from the Bridge on the way home tonight, and I think the View from the Bridge boys were saying that Belfast haven't had a win in Fife this year. I don't know if I think that's right.
I think that's right, yeah.
So that alone should give them some cause for concern. And I don't know. I mean, I'm still haunted by what happened to us last year, and I think Fife. It's like we say, on any given night, any team can beat any other team, and Fife, they've got it within them. They've got some really, really good players, and they're certainly capable of giving Giants a fright. I think it'll be close. Whatever happens, I think it'll be close. Personally, I think Giants will have too much at the end of the day, but I think it's going to be, by the odd goal by the end of the 2 legs.
And it's the same situation in this game, Raymond, where Belfast have given the second leg home advantage to Fife. Do you think that's maybe to do with the travelling?
Aye, absolutely. I think same rationale for Cardiff as well because of the possibilities at the time. But it's another reason why I think I can see Fife going through. And I think they're the Gardner Conference's best team against the Earhart, so they've had a really good record against the Earhart teams, and of course they scalped Belfast 9-5 not too long ago. So it is really within them, especially at home, to put a lot of goals past any team that visits. So I think it's going to be the same approach as the Storm will need to do. They need to keep the score as even or as close as possible. And again, if it's a goal or 2 in it, then I can see them with a home advantage back. I can see them turning it around. So I think Fife can do this.
Yeah. So are you going for Fife?
Yeah.
Yep. And Graham, what did you plump for eventually?
I said no. Reluctantly I went for Belfast. But it might not go down so well with a lot of Clan fans. But I would love Fife to get through. But I think it'll be Belfast.
And Jennifer, what about yourself?
I think they're completely and utterly capable of beating Belfast, and as you said, the 9-5 trouncing that they had of them that kind of really put an end to Belfast title hopes, just to show that Fife can step up to the game, especially when it comes to playoff hockey. We've been on the receiving end for it, so I fully expect Fife to beat Belfast.
Do you know what? I've got a funny feeling this could go Fife's way as well, and I'm kind of like, again, through the wrath of Clan fans, I like to support the Scottish teams and the Gardner teams and in the playoffs, and I'd be delighted if Fife managed to beat Belfast. And I think, if there's one tie out of the four that I would go for the surprise, that would be the one for me, and I would go for Fife. So, yeah, I think we're 3-1 in favour of Fife there. And who'd have thought that in the Purple Army podcast, eh? There you go, Fudd. That's one in the eye for you. You're listening. Of course you're listening. Because you like to keep us right. Moving on, Sheffield and Nottingham. That's the kind of the one you think, in terms of making some money, they'll be quite happy to meet each other in the quarter-finals, although neither would be happy to miss out on the kind of bashing Nottingham, the final four, if you like. Difficult one to predict again. Sheffield have been the form team this season, but Nottingham seem to have been coming into a game lately, Raymond, and do you think there's any chance they could do the job against Sheffield?
Well, it kind of depends. I mean, I think apart from their 3 straight wins up in Scotland, I don't think they've won that many games. I think they've had a really, really bad record, and by all accounts, from what Panther fans have been saying to me, they've been kind of playing like a team with nothing to play for ever since they won the Continental Silver Tray, and it all depends on, we've seen in the past their cup and playoff record in recent years been absolutely fantastic, and it's Corey Nielsen that's the mastermind behind it all, so you just don't know with Nottingham. By how they've been playing the past couple of months, they really shouldn't have a hope getting through, but with Corey Nielsen in their records, then they can always spring a surprise, but their luck's got to run out eventually in these cups and playoffs, so I think, I'm going to side with Sheffield on this one.
Yeah, okay. I think for basically for pretty much the same reasons as yourself, Raymond. I think Sheffield have just had too much quality this year. But again, we'll keep reiterating, and over a couple of games, anything's possible. Jennifer, what's your thoughts on this the biggest game on the planet?
Quite like to see Nottingham go through, just because I want to see McGrattan smash Fitzy, because I absolutely hate him for what he's done to Mike Hammond. So I would love nothing more than Sheffield's season to end this weekend. So my money's on Panthers.
Yeah, Graham?
I quite like to see Sheffield go through. I think they've certainly been the better team between the two of them overall during the league campaign. And kind of what Raymond was saying, I think the Panthers' form has been poor. If Corey can work some cup magic, then fair enough. But I can't see beyond Sheffield getting through. I think Sheffield will have too much. I think Panthers just suddenly switching it on because it's the playoffs now, the quarterfinals. I can't see it. I think there's something very, very wrong with that team, and I can't see it being suddenly right for this coming weekend. I definitely think Sheffield will have too much for them.
Yeah. And I think, just harking back to what we were talking about earlier in terms of the clan and in terms of what I was saying about recruiting, and, Nottingham spent an awful lot of money on that team. It would be quite scary, I think, if you were to look at their wage budget, and it could be the biggest in the league. And it just shows you, though... Well, sorry, were you going to say something?
No, I was just going to say, Neil Black said it was at the Q&A that he did with the Panthers fans. Neil Black said that was the most expensive, certainly the most expensive Panthers side assembled. And I think he might have insinuated it was probably the most expensive in the league as far as he was concerned. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm guessing. I don't know for a fact, but that's what I would guess. But it just shows you still have to be good in your recruitment. You still have to maybe be a wee bit lucky in your recruitment, because just spending the money isn't going to necessarily do the job for you. Because Nottingham, albeit they're in the tougher conference, they've only finished a point above us for and there'll be a big gap between Nottingham and Braehead in terms of finance. Let's face it. So I think for us, it gives you kind of hope as well, because if you can get your recruitment right against their hearts, then you can compete with them. As Nottingham proved, for the amount of money they spent, they're not getting much bang for their buck. Although I would argue that winning the European thing that is a good thing. It's just that I don't know if that's had an effect on their home form, but they weren't playing well consistently most of the year. So yeah, I think we went 3-1 in terms of Sheffield for that one between us. We're moving on to obviously talk about Braehead versus Dundee. Now, our record against Dundee this season has been 6 wins and 4 losses. Both teams have won a shootout game each. We've scored 37 goals against Dundee, and they've scored 31 against us. The record, by the way, in terms of 6 and 4, is split 3 and 2, home and away. So we've won 3, here, and we've won 3 away, and Dundee have done the same, 2 games both home and away. The stat that really bumped out at me when I started looking at it was the special teams. Our power play for the season is hovering around 19%. We are 26